Welcome back to the English Leap podcast, your cozy place to learn real English through real conversations and maybe understand your own life a little better along the way. I'm Mira.
And I'm Liam. And today we are getting into something that genuinely divides people, working from home versus working from the office.
And before you think, oh, I already know which one I prefer, stay with us because this conversation might surprise you.
We're not picking a winner today. We're picking apart the real reasons why people feel so strongly about both sides.
And there are strong feelings. Trust us.
Very strong feelings, speaking from personal experience.
This is a B1 to B2 level episode, natural speed, real conversation, and we'll explain new words clearly as they come. Strong B1 listeners, you are welcome here too.
Our comment challenge today, finish the sentence in the comments. I work better when blank. Tell us your setup, your preference, your honest answer.
And please like, subscribe, and share this with someone who is currently having this exact debate at their own job. Okay, let's go. Liam, where are you most productive? Home or office?
Home, no hesitation.
Really? Just like that?
Just like that. I wake up, make coffee, sit at my desk, and something clicks. No commute draining me before the day even starts. No one booking a meeting that could have been a 2-line email.
Okay, but you're listing things you're escaping. What does home actually give you?
Control. Complete control over my environment. Silence when I need to think. Music when I need energy. A 10-minute walk when my brain stalls and nobody is timing it.
The trust element. That's what you're really talking about.
Exactly. When you feel trusted to manage your own time, you actually do manage it. But the moment someone is micromanaging every hour, checking if you're online, timing your responses, your energy goes into performing work instead of doing work.
Performing the appearance of work, keeping your status green on the company chat, looking busy rather than being productive.
And that is exhausting in a way that produces absolutely nothing.
Okay, I hear you, and some of that genuinely resonates. But can I push back?
Please.
Because the home office dream works beautifully for people who are naturally self-structured. People like you, Liam. But for a lot of people, home is the worst possible place to try to work.
Tell me why.
Because home is full of everything your brain finds more interesting than a spreadsheet. Your bed, your kitchen, your phone. That one drawer you've been meaning to organize for 6 months, and suddenly at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, it becomes the most urgent thing in your life.
The drawer is never urgent until there's a deadline.
Never. And this has a name, productive procrastination. When you do real, genuinely useful tasks, cleaning, cooking, organizing, to avoid the one task you actually need to do. You're busy, just not with the right thing.
I once made fresh pasta from scratch when I had a report due.
From scratch?
Rolled by hand, Mira.
Liam, that takes 45 minutes minimum.
It was a very stressful report.
So the office removes those temptations. When you're at a desk in a building surrounded by colleagues who are also working, your brain shifts into a completely different mode. Psychologists call this environmental cues, the signals your surroundings send to your brain about what behavior is expected here. And an office sends one very clear signal: work happens here.
Which is why people who move to home working often struggle at first. Their brain has no signal. The home environment just says, relax, rest, eat pasta.
All of those things at once.
You have to train your brain to work there. It doesn't happen automatically, and that takes real discipline, which is a muscle not everyone has built the same way.
And that's not a character flaw. It just means the office might actually be the environment that supports you better right now.
Okay, let's be fair to the office, because it does something home genuinely cannot replicate: spontaneous collaboration.
This one is real.
That moment when you're stuck on a problem, you turn to the person next to you, talk it through, and in 10 minutes, you have a solution you wouldn't have found alone in 3 hours.
That happens so naturally in person, and it almost never happens over a scheduled video call.
Because nobody sends a calendar invite saying, 10 a.m., spontaneous creative breakthrough.
That would be a very strange meeting title.
The best ideas come from conversations between meetings, the coffee break, the hallway moment, the, oh, while I have you.
And those moments are nearly impossible to recreate digitally. You can try virtual coffee chats, open channels, but the energy isn't the same.
It's like the difference between a real hug and someone describing a hug to you.
That is a dramatic comparison for a workplace discussion.
But accurate. And there's something else the office provides that people don't appreciate until it's gone. Belonging. That feeling of being part of something together.
And I know introverts will say, I don't need that, I'm fine alone. Some genuinely are, but a lot of people who thought they were fine discovered after months of working from home that they were actually quite lonely.
The isolation crept in slowly. Day 1 was fine, week 1 was fine, but by month 3, something felt missing and you couldn't name it.
Researchers actually have a term for what was missing: ambient togetherness. The feeling of being around other people even without actively talking to them, just existing in the same space as other humans.
And that does something for your mood and motivation that's hard to measure, but very, very real.
The office provides that without you having to work for it. It's just there.
But here's my problem with the office, and it's a big one.
The commute.
The commute. Because everything we just said, the collaboration, the belonging, the energy, I appreciate all of it. And then I think about an hour on a crowded train each way, arriving already tired.
You lose 2 hours before you've done a single thing.
2 hours that could be sleep, exercise, a real breakfast, time with people you actually chose to be around.
Studies show that even a 20-minute commute each way, considered short in most cities, has a measurable impact on stress levels over time.
20 minutes is considered short?
In many cities, yes. Some people travel an hour each way. That's 10 hours a week just gone into transportation.
So the office might be great. The getting to the office is the expensive part.
Which is why most people landed on hybrid. 2 or 3 days in, the rest at home.
The great middle ground.
Or, depending on how it's managed, the worst of both worlds.
It really can go either way.
Here's the thing underneath all of this that I think is the real conversation.
Go.
It's not really home versus office. It's, do you trust your people to know what they need to do their best work?
Autonomy. That feeling of having genuine control over your own time and decisions. And research consistently shows when people feel trusted and autonomous, they are more motivated, more engaged, and they produce better results.
And when that autonomy is taken away, when someone is forced back into a rigid 5-day schedule with no input, the resentment that builds quietly is real.
Even if the office is fine, even if the commute is short, the loss of choice is what stings.
And there's another layer here that doesn't get talked about enough. The same office environment is a completely different experience depending on who you are.
Introverts and extroverts, for example. An extrovert gains energy from being around people. The buzz of a busy room fills them up. An introvert gains energy from solitude, and even enjoyable social interaction uses their energy rather than restoring it.
Neither is better, neither is a flaw, but a full-time office is, by default, designed for extroverts. It rewards visibility, spontaneous interaction, social presence.
And an introvert can absolutely thrive there, but it costs them more. They go home more tired, they need more recovery time. Working from home levels that a little.
And the wrong environment, one that constantly drains you, is one of the clearest paths to burnout. A state of deep physical and emotional exhaustion where even rest doesn't restore you.
So this isn't just a productivity conversation, it's a sustainability conversation. Can you keep doing this without it slowly destroying you?
That question deserves a real answer, not just, well, everyone else manages it.
Because a 25-year-old in a small apartment and a 35-year-old with 2 kids and a home office have completely different relationships with working from home.
The 25-year-old might be desperate for the office, for the space, the structure, the human contact.
And the 35-year-old with a dedicated setup and school pickup flexibility, home works beautifully.
Same policy, completely opposite impact.
Which is why one size fits all genuinely doesn't work here.
Let's slow down and walk through the key words from today. A calm word tour. Repeat after us or just let them land.
Productive procrastination. Doing real useful tasks to avoid the one important task you actually need to do. For example,
I cleaned my entire apartment instead of writing my essay. That's productive procrastination. Or, it feels like progress but takes you further from what matters. Repeat, productive procrastination.
Environmental cues. The signals your surroundings send your brain about what behavior belongs in that space. For example, the smell of coffee and sound of keyboards are environmental cues that switch me into work mode. Or, a dedicated workspace gives your brain the cues it needs to focus. Repeat, environmental cues.
Ambient togetherness. Being around other people without actively talking, just sharing a space. For example, working in a cafe gives me ambient togetherness without conversation pressure. Or, many remote workers miss ambient togetherness more than they expected. Repeat, ambient togetherness.
Autonomy. Having genuine control and freedom over your own decisions and work. For example, employees with more autonomy are consistently more motivated. Or, removing someone's autonomy without explanation builds quiet resentment. Repeat, autonomy.
Introvert and extrovert. An extrovert gains energy from social interaction. An introvert gains energy from solitude and finds sustained social time tiring. For example, as an extrovert, working from home feels isolating after a few days. Or, her introvert nature means she does her deepest work in quiet conditions. Repeat, introvert, extrovert.
And finally, burnout. Deep physical and emotional exhaustion from prolonged stress, where even rest doesn't restore you. For example, she pushed too hard for too long and hit burnout. Or, choosing the right work environment is one way to protect yourself from burnout long term. Repeat, burnout.
So, home or office? Final answer.
The honest answer is the one that lets you do your best work without costing you your health. And that answer is different for every person.
Know yourself. Know what you actually need, not what sounds productive, not what your manager prefers, what genuinely works for you.
And then advocate for it. Clearly, professionally, honestly. Because that skill, knowing your needs and communicating them, is something you can absolutely get better at.
Maybe that's our next episode.
Definitely our next episode. Don't forget to write in the comments, I work better when blank. We'll read every single one.
This is Liam,
And this is Mira.
and you've been listening to the English Leap podcast.
Take care of your English, take care of your energy, and find the environment where you actually come alive.
See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.